My grandfather was a really ambitious restaurateur. He had a restaurant chain. It was super innovative. He was a bit of a revolutionary in the restaurant business, but I guess sometimes he became so insular with his own ideas and his revolutionary ideas that he wasn't able to branch out. Like, for example, Colonel Sanders begged him to become a partner. He said, "Nah, don't need your partnership." And he only ever did is hit six restaurants.
Is that a for fucking real story?
That's a real fucking story.
How did he even know?
McDonald's, he was the first one to do drive-through. He did it way before drive-through. People thought, why would somebody want to drive-through? It just, these were concepts that, you know, like the idea of an Uber Eats now. Right. Nobody would give a shit about that. But back then, sometimes like something that's just so obvious, it's too new for it. We're not ready for it. People from Burger King and McDonald's and Wendy's would go to the restaurant and steal his menus to see how he did the menus with the nice colors and like there was a lot of industrial espionage going on with the restaurant. He was like a super crazy pioneer.
Okay.
And but that's the problem sometimes.
Like, I remember my dad talking about the Hi-Ho restaurants.
Yeah, everyone talks about it.
You know what I mean? Because like I didn't really get to experience it. I remember the last I remember that like there's a bunch of them that are back now. Is that your family?
No.
Okay. So the last
it's no longer relevant.
Okay.
But the whole point is what I was going to say is sometimes there'll be a maverick who will create something that's revolutionary, but he will insulate himself. So at a certain point of its trajectory, it stops growing or it stops branching out and it becomes insular. And therefore, that's how you get left behind. It's kind of like the Japanese, like 250 years ago, they became isolationists.
Right.
And what happened? 200 years go by and American gunships come and say, you're going to open your ports to us. Mm-hmm. And the samurai get their asses kicked.
Right.
That's what happens. And that can happen in business, that can happen in art, that can happen in fucking music.
Right.
You know, when one day Billy Idol wakes up and realizes he's still in the 80s. It just shit happens. Right?
Okay, so talk to me about so that was your grandfather though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me about mom and dad and your brother.
Oh, my dad, he's he's like almost like an Olympic level cycling coach. He's like a cycling guru. He does training camps all over the States and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He's in his 70s, he's retiring. I mean, he's retired, but he does what he loves to do. But he's slowing down.
Was he a cycler? Like that's what he did professionally?
He was obsessed with cycling as much as I'm obsessed with toy soldiers.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that his career though?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, it became after he retired from GM.
Oh, okay.
Listen, this shit isn't interesting. You want to talk
No, it's very interesting. No.
Let's let shit roll. Let's pull our fucking cocks out and just let it fucking roll.
It was rolling.
This is contrived shit. This is contrived shit.
No.
Nobody wants to hear this fucking crap.
You know why they want to hear it? Because it's important for me to sort of understand the base that the person I'm talking to comes from. And I learn quite a bit from people when they tell me about the house that they grew up in. So Dad worked at Chrysler's, but was super.
No, GM. He was a millwright at GM. My mom was a good, hardworking house mom.
Right.
So yes, no matter how eccentric you may be, a good, strong family structure with a good dad,
right,
who will tell you, son, pull up your pants. Don't wear your pants below your ass cheeks. Pull up your pants. Put a belt on and be a man. You need your dad to tell you that.
You know what's funny? It's funny that you bring it up that way because you and we've had this. I've said this to you a couple times over the last few hours. You were the first like true sort of artist person that I know, and despite that, you have one of the most sort of like anti-artist background histories that I can imagine, because normally when people
the only reason why I ever became an artist was to impress the beautiful girls in my art class in high school.
No shit.
I make God.
That's how it started.
But most anything that I do, it starts off with a goofy reason. Why did we start making movies? It was because some stripper girl dumped me, who says I want to be a movie star. So I said, yeah, well I'm going to be making a movie. And so then we made Xenos Inferno.
that's
everybody took their clothes off for that one. Everybody in Toronto. Yeah, except for George, of course. George is fluffing, in fact.
Were you a super high energy kid? Had to have been, right?
I was super high energy, but you know what? The energy never went away.
Clearly.
I still have the same kind of energy as like Quentin Tarantino or Martin Scorsese when you hear them talk. I can fire.
How did you? Because like I know even now like being a high energy person, people react to that.
Yeah, they do. Sometimes I could. Do you ever notice around certain people they'll take your energy away?
Yeah.
Ugh. I hope that I don't have that adverse effect on people sometimes. I might, because there's certain friends that whenever I'm around them, like, they just tire me out. But but I'm that guy that can rally the troops and get anything done.
Yeah.
Like if I say, okay, guys, we're going to make a big, crazy music video with no money and make it look like $1 million, amazing people will come aboard and we'll make $1 million music video. I'm that guy that can open up a $10,000 a month gallery venue with no money and just convince the right people that it's the right thing to do. I'm that guy that can create a haunted house with practically no money, just using found objects and just.
Right.
I can do that.
Talk to me about, because when I met you, you were already living at the old YMCA building, right, on Pallisher. Yep. Talk to me about how you got into that space.
Okay, I was, everybody, I imagine, the way the stock market crashed in 1929?
Yeah.
And then the stock market crashed again, I think, I forget, Black Monday, whatever the fuck. I had a personal crash. I remember it was around 2003. And I was taking on too many projects, and I was secretly starting to realize that in Windsor, I was bouncing my head off the ceiling.
Okay.
I pretty much went as far as I could go in Windsor. This is pre-computer times too. And I sort of crashed and I sort of gave up, and I moved down to my dad's basement, and I was really, really low, and I couldn't figure out how to get out of it. And Larry Horowitz bought the old YMCA, and so I made it into an art studio. And then we both agreed that I should live there to keep my eye on the building, because the truth was, if I was not living there, it would have been constantly raided and broken into, constantly. So me and my dog, we were constantly omnipresent.
Yep.
And I go to bed at 5 a.m. I go to bed at 5 a.m. every night and wake up every day at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
I only need about 3 or 4 hours sleep.
Yeah.
Napoleon Bonaparte, I found out, only needed 3 hours a night sleep a night.
Thing, yeah.
I only need one meal a day.
Have you always been like that?
I'm 49 years old. I have no gray hair.
Yeah.
Which is fucking weird. I'm muscular like a fucking brick shit house. I sleep only about 4 hours a night. I jerk off once a day. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I have no answers for any of this shit. When I get injured, I repair fucking quick.
Yeah.
I hardly ever get sick. I have no answers for this. And you know what? I don't deserve it. I didn't earn it. It's a weird genetic fluke. I don't know what it is. I have no answers for this.
It's interesting to me because, like I said, you were the first sort of living artist that I ever met in my life. And one of the things that was super interesting to me and super attractive, for lack of a better word to me, was the idea that you did just sort of you did whatever the fuck you felt like doing, but not in a way that was destructive. It was just kind of oh wait, I've got this fucking idea. You know what I mean?
Just do it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. I'm like now at the gallery, I'm doing 10-minute theater, where I'm writing plays that are less than 10 minutes, and we perform them, and we're filling the house, we're packing the house, we're selling it out.
Did you ever have a time when it was hard for you to follow an idea?
No,
It was always this.
It's a trajectory thing. Okay, I remembered what it was. This is what it was.
Yeah.
Because of the nature of what it is that I do for a living, think of it as a howitzer cannon. I create an idea, which is a missile, and I load it into the cannon. I set my sights. I fire the trajectory. The idea goes through a trajectory, and then it comes down. And it lands as close to the goal as possible with an explosion, and it usually hits.
Okay.
But most people, they'll say, I'm a fucking promoter. Well, they'll load the cannon, they'll fire it, and then they don't care what happens with the missile. The missile just disappears. Or they load the cannon and never fire it, or they just fire it and it just doesn't even, wherever it hits, they don't know. But my training, because I would have to come up with an idea for a painting, I'd have to make the painting, then I'd have to finish the painting, and then I would have to sell the painting and deliver the painting, and then I would hang it on the client's wall. If I don't start something from conception to delivery, it's failure. So that whole trajectory concept, I apply it to everything I do.
Where did you get that from?
I don't know.
Is that a thing that was just always part of it?
I realized as the years went on,
Yeah.
it's a subconscious form of training.
Okay.
So for example, if I say I'm making a new song now and I'm making a music video for it, I've gone out on my own now and now I'm making my own music. So now I'm in the recording studio and I'm creating a song. And it'll work on it till it's done. It's a big epic song. And then now I'm putting all the things, put together the music video. We're gonna create the music video, and then we're gonna film the music video. And then when the music video is done, then I'm gonna promote it and proliferate it, and then some product will come from it. Mm-hmm. There is no such thing as me starting a project and it halfway done. That rarely ever happens.
Okay.
If it does happen, I'm not always perfect, but my training is from the sperm leaving the tip of the dick to a baby coming out of the fucking womb.
Right.
There's no abortions. It goes full arc.
Right.
Everything.
Were you like that as a kid?
No. That was an accidental thing that was developed over the years of being a full-time artist.
That'll do it for this episode of the AVB Podcast. Don't forget you can subscribe to our full audio episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you find your audio podcasts. The full episodes, highlights, and our live off-the-floor performance videos can be found at our YouTube channel, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the AVB Podcast. Of course, you'll find links to our incredible sponsors and this week's guest in the description below. The AVB Podcast is part of the Border City Network. Find more great content at bordercitynetwork.com. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.